Okay guys, today we're going to be learning about a different way to solve systems. So like last week we did the equal value method, and the method we're learning this week is called the elimination method. So this picture right here just kind of gives you an example and gives you certain steps to follow. So for here, instead of setting the equations equal to each other, we're actually going to add them together or subtract them. So what you want to do first is line up everything, so where your x's and your y's are all lined up just like they did right here. Just like they do, I'm going to use a different color. Like they do right here. So you can see the x's are right on top of each other, the y's are right on top of each other. And then the next step is to look to see if you have anything that are opposites of each other. So if we look right here, I have a positive 5y and a negative 5y. So if I add those together, that's going to give me 0. So that's exactly what they've done here. So they added it together. 2x plus 6x is 8x, and then 17 plus negative 9 is 8. And then 5y plus negative 5y is 0. So we end up getting 8x is equal to 8. And then here they just solve that and to get x is equal to 1. And then all they're doing in step 6 and 7 right here is solving for y just the same way we did with the equal value method. So we're going to go ahead and do these two examples. So here it says to determine what variable we are going to eliminate. So looking right here, I can see that I have positive x and negative x, which are opposites of each other. So obviously those are what I'm going to be adding together. So that is going to give me 0x. And then I have 4 plus negative 2y, which gives me 2y. And then 9 plus 3, which is equal to 12. So then I'm going to divide by 2. And that's going to give me that y is equal to 6. So now all I'm going to do is plug my value for y in to solve for x. So I'm going to use this equation right here. So I'm going to say that negative x plus, or not plus, whoops, minus 2 times 6 is equal to 3. Because I have my solution for y right here. So that's going to give me negative x minus 12 is equal to 3. I'm going to add 12 to both sides. And I'm going to get negative x is equal to 15. And then I'm going to divide by negative 1 to get x is equal to 15. And that is going to give me the coordinate point of 15, negative 15, negative 15, 6 as my answer. So this is basically the same thing, like, once we get to this point down here, it's what we were doing last week. Only sometimes instead of plugging in for x, you might have to plug in for y. So down here, we're going to look at another one. So the first thing we have to do is determine which variables we're going to eliminate. So looking at this, I have negative 3x and negative 4x, and that's not really going to work because they're not the same. But right here, I have negative 5y and positive 5y. So that gives me a place where I can add and get 0. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take negative 3x plus negative 4x, and I get negative 7x. And then I get negative 7 plus positive 14. That's going to give me 7. And then we divide by negative 7. We get that x is equal to negative 1. So then I'm going to use negative 3x minus 5y is equal to -7. So I'm going to say -3 times -1 minus 5y is equal to -7. That gives me, not 4, whoops, 3 minus 5y is equal to -7. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. And that's going to give me -5y is equal to -10. We divide by -5 to get y is equal to 2. So here I have x is equal to 1. I have y is equal to 2. So I can write the point -1, 2 as my answer. So now we're going to solve these using elimination. So I'm going to start off and just look for opposites. -3 and +10 are not opposites, but +6y and -6y are opposites. So I'm going to go ahead and add these together to get 7x is equal to 21. I'll divide by 7 on both sides to get x is equal to 3. Now I'm going to use -3x plus 6y is equal to 3 to solve for y. So I'm going to go ahead and take -3 times +3, since we found that for x, plus 6y. And that's going to give me -9 plus 6y is equal to 3. Now I'm going to solve this just like a normal two-step equation by adding my constant on both sides. And that's going to give me 6y is equal to 12. And I'm going to divide by 6 on both sides to get y is equal to 2. So now I have x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 2. So I can write the coordinate point 3, 2 as my answer. So we're going to do the same thing over here. -2x and -x are not opposites, but +7y and -7y are. So we're going to add. And this is going to give me -3x. Remember, these will come together to give you 0. And that will equal, let's see, -17 plus 23 would be 6. We'll divide by -3 on both sides to get x is equal to -2. Now I'm going to use -x minus 7y is equal to 23 to solve for y. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the negative times the -2 minus 7y is going to equal 23. This becomes a +2 minus 7y equals 23. And now I'm going to solve just like a normal two-step equation. So I'm going to subtract my constant from both sides to get -7y is equal to 21. And now I'm going to divide by my coefficient to get y is equal to -3. So I have x is equal to -2 and y is equal to -3. So that is going to give me the coordinate point -2, -3 as my answer. Okay, we're going to do 2 more. So looking right here, I already see that negative 4x and positive 4x are opposites. So we're going to add these equations together. So negative 2y plus positive y gives me negative y. And then 18 plus negative 19 gives me negative 1. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 1. And that's going to give me y is equal to 1. So now I'm going to use 4x plus y is equal to negative 19 to solve for x. So this becomes 4x plus 1 is equal to negative 19. And then we solve just like a two-step equation. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. And that's going to give me 4x is equal to negative 20. And then I'm going to divide by my coefficient to get x is equal to 5. So here I have y is equal to 1 and x is equal to 5. So I can get the coordinate point 5, 1 as my answer. Okay, all I'm doing down here, and the reason I'm going through it so fast, is because I'm just solving a two-step equation, which is something that we should all be very familiar with by now. So if you need help with that, you need to be coming to the lives and asking questions, because I'm not going to reteach two-step equations on these videos, just because that would make this way longer. So just make sure if you are still iffy on the two-step equation stuff that you're coming to the live lessons. So here I have negative 3x and positive 3x, which are opposites. So I can add these two equations together. And this is going to give me 12y is equal to negative 24. And so I'm going to divide by 12 on both sides. And that's going to give me that y is equal to negative 2. So I'm going to use negative 3x plus 3y is equal to 3 to solve for x. So I'm going to say negative 3x plus 3 times negative 2 is equal to 3. So negative 3x plus negative 6. So instead of plus negative 6, I'm just going to change that to minus 6. It's equal to 3. And then I'm going to solve just like a two-step equation by adding my constant. That gives me negative 3x is equal to 9. I'm going to divide by negative 3 on both sides to get x is equal to negative 3. So I have y is equal to negative 2 and x is equal to negative 3. So that gives me the coordinate point negative 3, negative 2 as my answer. Okay, so now that we've done like basic elimination, we have to talk about special cases and times where you have to multiply first. So this is where knowing your common factors and your multiples is really going to help. So looking here, I have the system 5x plus 2y is equal to 16, and then 3x minus 4y is equal to 20. So looking at that, there's nothing there that I can add or subtract off the bat to make it work. But if I look right here, I see that I have positive 2y and negative 4y. And I know that there is something that I could multiply 2y by to get 4y. So down here, what I'm going to do is multiply the entire thing by 2 to get 10x plus 4y is equal to 32. And if you look, now I have a set of opposites right here. So I can go ahead and add those equations together. So, and then we can solve. So sometimes you have to multiply the equation to get the same number. And we're going to practice that down here. And once you see me do one, I think it's going to make more sense. So, looking at number 13, I have negative 8x plus 7y is equal to negative 1. And I have 2x minus 5y is equal to negative 29. So there's nothing super friendly that I can multiply 5 and 7 by to get each other. But if we look right here, there is something that I can multiply 2x by to get 8x. And that's 4. So I'm going to multiply the entire thing times 4. And my new system, this first line stays the same because I didn't multiply it. And then I'll have 8x minus 20y is equal to 136. No, 136. Let me think. 29 plus 29 would be 68. Yeah, so it should be 136. Okay. Sorry, I was doing that in my head. That took me a minute. So then we can add these together because if you notice, I have two opposites now. And this would give me negative 13y is equal to negative 137. And then we would divide both sides by negative 13y. Did I do that right? Oh my gosh, I can't do math. Hold on, I made a mistake. This should be negative 1. This should be 116. And this should be, I can't believe I made that big of a mistake. Whoops. Okay, and then this is going to give me y is equal to 9. And then from here, I'm just going to solve for x just like normal. So I'm going to use negative 8x plus 7y is equal to negative 1. So it would be negative 8x plus 7 times 9 is equal to negative 1. Negative 8x plus 63 is equal to negative 1. And then I'm just going to solve this like a two-step equation by subtracting 63 from both sides. And that's going to give me negative 8x is equal to negative 64. We divide by negative 8. And that gives me that x is equal to 8. So I have y is equal to 9, x is equal to 8. So I can write the point 8, 9 as my answer. Okay? So let's do another one. So looking here, there's really nothing I can multiply 5 by to get 6. But there is something I can multiply this negative y by to get 11. So I'm going to multiply the entire thing times 11. So the first row will stay the same. But I'm going to take 5x times 11, which gives me 55x. And then I'm going to take negative y times 11, which gives me negative 11y. And then 29 times 11, which is 319. So now what I'm going to do is subtract these. And so normally we've been adding, but I'm going to subtract this time because I have the same term. So negative 6 minus 55x is going to be negative 61x. Negative 11 minus negative 11 is 0. And then 14 minus 319 is going to be negative 305. So now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 61. And that's going to give me x is equal to 5. So now I'm going to plug that in to 5x minus y is equal to 29. That's going to give me 5 times 5 minus y is equal to 29. And that will give me that 25 minus y is equal to 29. So then I will subtract 25 from both sides to get negative y is equal to 4. And then we divide by negative 1 on both sides, which gives me y is equal to negative 4. So from here, I have x is equal to 5, y is equal to negative 4, and I get the point 5, negative 4 as my answer. Okay, 2 more down here. So looking at number 15, I have 2 options. So if we look, I can multiply this first one to get 3y on the top, or I can multiply the bottom to get 8x on down there. But I am going to go ahead and multiply the top row. And to take this to 3y, I'm going to multiply the entire thing by 3. And that is going to give me 24x plus 3y is equal to negative 27. Because I multiply 8x by 3, 1y by 3, and then negative 9 by 3. And then I will have x minus 3y is equal to 27. So this is going to give me 25x is equal to 0 when I solve for this. And that is going to tell me when I divide by 25 on both sides that x is equal to 0. So I am going to do 8x plus y is equal to -9. And I'm going to have 8 times 0 plus y is equal to -9. 0 plus y is equal to -9, which means y is equal to -9. So I have x is equal to 0, y is equal to -9, so I can do 0, comma, -9 as my answer. Over here, I have two options as well. So I have the choice of multiplying this 2 to equal 12x, or I can multiply this y to equal 3y. So I'm going to choose to multiply the bottom row times 6. So my top row will stay the same. So I'm just going to rewrite that. And this is going to give me 12x plus 18y is equal to 12 times 6, which is 72, so -72. So this is going to give me 17y is equal to -75. Oh, this is 30, not 3. Okay. That's my bad. So that is not going to be 75. That is going to be -102. So I'm going to divide by 17 on both sides. And that is going to give me y is equal to -6. So now I'm going to use 2x plus 3y is equal to -12. So 2x plus 3 times -6 is equal to -12. That is 2x minus 18 is equal to 12, or -12. And then I'm going to add 18 to both sides, just like I normally do, solving a two-step equation. And I'm going to get 2x is equal to 6. We'll divide by 2 on both sides to get x is equal to 3. So here I have y is equal to -6, x is equal to 3. So I can write the point 3, comma, -6 as my answer. So down here, we're going to go into some special cases, and you will see these on your assignment for this week, so make sure you're paying attention. So in this case, I'm going to multiply this top one by 2 so I can get 3x to 6x. And that's going to give me 6x plus 10y is equal to 2. And -6x minus 10y is equal to 14. So when I add these, I get 0x and 0y and then I get 16. So I get 0 is equal to 16, which makes absolutely no sense. So there are no solutions here. So if you get two numbers equal to each other that are not, then you have no solutions for your answer. So like if you were to get like, I mean, it'll always be 0, but like 0 equal to 4, that's no solutions. 0 equal to 3, no solutions. Things like that. So coming over here, we're going to look at one that's kind of similar. So I'm going to multiply this bottom half by 2 so I can get negative 8x to negative 16x. And this is going to give me negative 16x minus 20y is equal to 12. And then this is going to give me negative 16x minus 20y is equal to 12. And you see that that is the exact same equation. So when you get that, that means that there are infinite solutions. Okay, so if you get the same exact equation, it's infinite solutions, and that's because they're the exact same equation. So any number I put in for x here, it's going to give me the same thing down here. So when you get them in the same equation, it's infinite solutions. So keep those two in mind because you will see them again. So now we're going to practice some word problems. So it says the admission cost for 12 children and 3 adults was $162, and the admission cost for 8 children and 3 adults was $122. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 12C plus 3A was equal to $162 for this first line. And for the second line, I'm going to say 8C plus 3A is equal to $122. So looking here, I can subtract these. Since I have these 3 A's right here, and I know if I subtract them, they're going to give me 0. So I'm going to get 4C is equal to 40 when I subtract. So I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides, and I'm going to get C is equal to 10. So I know that a child's ticket is going to equal $10. So now I'm going to use one of my equations. I'm going to use this 8C plus 3A is equal to 122 to figure out how much an adult ticket is. So I'm going to say 8 times 10 plus 3A is equal to 122. 80 plus 3A is equal to 122. I'm going to subtract 80 from both sides. That's going to give me 3A is equal to 42. And that's going to give me, when I divide by 3, that A is equal to 14. So a child's ticket is $10 and an adult ticket is 14. So these people are selling cookie dough for a fundraiser. It says they can buy chocolate chip cookie dough and gingerbread. They sold 8 packages of chocolate chip and 12 packages of gingerbread for $364. The other person sold 1 package of chocolate chip and 4 packages of gingerbread for $93. So we are going to use C for chocolate chip and G for gingerbread. So this first one, we've got 8 chocolate chip plus 12 gingerbread for $364. And then the second one, we've got 1 package of chocolate chip plus 4 gingerbread for $93. So what I'm going to do is take this second row down here, and I'm going to take this 4G to 12G by multiplying by 3. So my new system is going to be 8 chocolate chip plus 12, so the same exact thing for the first row. And then we're going to take 93 times 3, which is 279. And now what we're going to do is subtract these. So that's going to give me 5C. 12G minus 12G is 0. And then 364 minus 279 is 85. So then we'll divide by 5 on both sides to get C is equal to 17. And then I'm going to use C plus 4G is equal to 93 to solve this. So I'm going to get 17 plus 4G is equal to 93. I'm going to subtract 17 from both sides. I'm going to get 4G is equal to 76. And then I'll divide by 4 on both sides. And that will give me that G is equal to 19. So I know that chocolate chip cookie dough cost $17. And I know that gingerbread cost $19. So lastly, they are selling flower bulbs for a school fundraiser. They can buy packages of tulips and daffodils. She sold 6 packages of tulips and 12 of daffodils for $198. The other girl sold 7 packages of tulips and 6 bags of daffodils for $127. So we're gonna use T for tulip and D for daffodil. So we know that she sold 6 tulips plus 8 daffodils. 12. 12 daffodils for $198. And then we have 7 tulips plus 6 daffodils for $127. So I'm going to multiply the whole second row down here by 2. And that is going to give me a new system that looks like this. 6T plus 12D equals 198. And then 14T plus 12D is equal to 127 times 2, which it should be 254. I'm going to double check myself after my earlier mistake. So this is going to give me this, and I'm going to subtract right here because I can get 0 by doing 12D minus 12D. So that's going to give me negative 8T is equal to negative 56. So I'm going to divide by negative 8 on both sides. And that is going to give me that T is equal to 7. So I know tulips cost $7. So now I'm going to use 6T plus 12D is equal to 198 to solve for how much daffodils cost. So 6 times 7 plus 12D is equal to 198. 42 plus 12D is equal to 198. I'm going to subtract 42 from both sides. 12D is equal to 156. And then I'm going to divide by 12 on both sides. And I'm going to get that D is equal to 13. So daffodils cost $13.